Hey, what's up guys? It's Matt from RC Overload here, and I'm actually working on the Pro MT today. Now I'm waiting for a few parts to come in for it before I can take it out bashing again, so I figured I've got some upgrade parts. Let's do some upgrading to it. So what we're starting with today is actually a couple of carbon fiber upgrades. What we have is actually a front shock tower brace, a rear shock tower brace, ooh, my apologies guys, and a transponder mount. And all of this is all carbon fiber. Take a look. Looks sexy. So what these are is actually not a replacement for the shock towers, but a bolt-on accessory. For instance, we have our front shock tower off the Pro MT truck here, okay? It's a pretty solid piece of plastic. Really stiff. But if you look closely, it still bends a little. So if you want to stiffen that up, get a set of these carbon fiber upgrades. What they do is actually go over the shock tower, like so. This one's for the front, I'll show you for the rear. And if you look, about the same amount, and it barely even moves. So it's like getting an upgraded shock tower without actually having to replace the whole shock tower. And at the same time, it looks pretty dang cool. So that's for the front. Now yes, you will need to disassemble the entire front end of the car in order to get the front shock tower off so it's by itself. So if you're going to be building the kit, it might actually be worth looking into getting these before building it, so you can actually assemble it with it while you're putting the truck together. Now, put that over there. For the rear shock tower, it doesn't actually take the exact design of the shock tower. Now the shock tower actually comes down and mounts to the body. But let me show you. Now I have everything disassembled off this rear shock tower. The shocks aren't on it, okay? And the rear body posts that come up aren't on it either. Those are the only things you really need to take off. Because if you look closely, this carbon fiber piece here actually, again, overlays into the back. If you guys can see closely, it pretty much follows it, but it doesn't go all the way down. You don't really need to, because there's not much more there that it needs to support. So again, it's a brace. It just goes over it to support it, to help it from bending or breaking it possibly when you're jumping. Alright, now, whoop, the transponder mount. Okay, any of you guys racing have transponders. Some of you guys do. So when you're doing laps or so forth, it keeps track of everything. This mount actually goes over the front. Now this end connects up to the front shock tower section, the front bumper, and it goes over to where the steering servo. The transponder mount actually just mounts up right over it using the existing holes. Okay, so you get that extra space. Now you don't need to have a transponder mount. Excuse me. I'm sorry. You don't actually need a transponder to use this. If you want to use your receiver, or you have a LED light kit or something that you want to put on here that needs that extra little bit of space, you can certainly do that. All it is to make this space a little bit wider. Okay? So now I'm going to go ahead and throw these onto the Pro MT truck and actually show you guys exactly what it looks like all put together. Alright, so hold on. Okay guys, so I just finished putting it together, and it honestly took me about 15 minutes to do, so about 15-20 minutes to put it together, probably looking at about an hour tops with basic hand tools in disassembling and putting these three pieces together. Now I left the front end off just so I could show you guys exactly what it looks like, a little more clearer without it being on the vehicle. Everything still mounts up exactly the same. Alright, still uses the same screws and everything. So it's pretty cool. Definitely does stiffen that entire shock tower right on up. And yeah, sure, you don't always see it. It's more on the back side, but it's more of a stiffener, okay? I'll show you guys on the back side here. Left the shocks off just temporarily. Now you can see it sitting back there. I'm not sure how well the light is. I'll try to bring it up a little closer. Okay. You can see it in there. Again, it just sits on the back and right in between the body posts and the shock tower. Same with the transponder. It just mounts right up over the steering servo and gives you that little bit of extra arm so you can put your receiver or anything you else want off to the side. Kind of like so. Alright guys, so that's it for the carbon fiber upgrades. There is more upgrading that we're going to be doing, so definitely stick around and let's beef this truck up. Alright guys, thanks for watching. We'll see you next time.